we only have three outlines for the basics of HTML. We have the introduction to HTML, the basics of HTML, and the core concepts of HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is a markup language that is used for structuring and designing web pages. And a web page is just a website is formed of multiple web pages that have come together. So HTML tells the browser what and how to display the content on the web page. HTML cannot create a web page on its own. It also needs CSS to modify the web page and JavaScript to make the web page more interactive. So that is just a basic introduction to what is HTML. So the basics of HTML. In every HTML document, there is a boilerplate. And the boilerplate is just the basic structure and foundation of the HTML document. So HTML is coded within a pair of angular brackets. Is where we have the different types of tags and elements. So tags have opening tags and closing tags, but not all of them have opening tags and closing tags. And within the closing tag, there is always a slash before. There is always a slash after the angular bracket. For example, the HTML tag, the closing and the opening one that I have as an example there. Okay, so previously I had said that the HTML tags should have closing tags and opening tags, but not all of them have closing tags and opening tags. So they are divided into two different types of tags called container tags and empty tags. The container tags are the ones that have an opening tags and a closing tag. For example, the paragraph tag and the div tag. And empty tags are also known as self-closing tags, meaning they do not have a closing tag. For example, the img element and the br, which is for break, the break element or tag. So now we have come into the core concepts of HTML. So as I said earlier, each HTML document follows a specific structure. We have the doc type HTML. It shows that we are using it shows the version of HTML that we are using, which currently we are using HTML5. On line 2, we are using HTML. On line 2, it is HTML lang equals n. So on line 2, the HTML shows that this is a HTML tag that you're working on, and the lang attribute is to show us that we are coding using the English language. In line 3, we have the head of the body, and within the head there is the meta charset. This shows that the document can be displayed on a web page. Then the meta name is just to give more information on the document of HTML that we are working on. On line 6, we have the title. So whenever you open up the web page on the bar, on like the Chrome tab that you'll be using, it will show the title of that document you are working on. So on line 7, we close the tab. Then on line 8, we open the body tag. This is where we keep all the contents of our HTML tag of our HTML document. Then from line 1 going onwards until however many lines of code you write, that is where our body will be the content of our body will be placed in. Line 10, we close the body tag. Then on line 11, we close the HTML tag. So that is the boilerplate of a HTML tag. So I'm going to go back to share um, the, the PowerPoint. So now we are going to be looking deeper into the core concepts of HTML. So most HTML tags use attributes which provide additional information to modify the element's behavior. For example, href, src, or lt, and class. So an example here, I have given the anchor element to the href tab, the href attribute. Now we are looking into headings and tags. So the headings are used to define the structure and importance of the content. So they are listed from H1 to H6. H1 being the largest and most important, and H6 being the smallest. So we have paragraphs. They are defined within P tags, and the text formatting uses tags like bold for B for bold, I for italics, and then strong and EM. And now we have links. The anchor tag, which is just a within a pair of angular brackets, is used to create hyperlinks within the web page. For example, here we have A with the href attribute, which is used to create the hyperlink. And then we have go to Cambridge. Then we close the anchor tag. So the anchor tag also allows redirection to other pages, to other web pages. Now we have lists. So in HTML, there are two types of lists that are used within a HTML document. They are ordered lists and unordered lists. So for example, we have a small example of an unordered list, and whenever we are writing an unordered list, within the unordered list, so to write our list, we usually have a list tag where we write the list, and then is when you can close the unordered list. So that is to show the kind of list that we are using. So as the same for ordered lists. So now images and media. So the img tag, which is also known as the image tag, is used to display images. So it requires the src attributes and alternative attribute for an alternative photo if the original photo fails to load. So with the current version of HTML that we are using right now, which is HTML5, it also supports audio and video. So meaning you can upload audio and videos onto your HTML document, and that's all for images and media. In HTML, we have also comments. So HTML allows you to add comments inside the code that will not show on the web page, but helps explain sections of the code. So comments are used to show where like a specific line of code has started or ended. So it's just for navigation most of the time, especially if you're going to be writing long code. So it helps you navigate where each and every section is. So makes the code easier to read. So for example, here we have how comments are written. We start with an exclamation mark, then 2 hyphens, then the comment. Then once you're done writing the comments, we have an extra 2 hyphens, then we close with the closing angular brackets. So nesting elements, these are just the elements where you can nest them to like add and build more complex structures. For example, a div element, a UL element. It's just those are elements where you can nest something within them. And that's all I have for